No agenda, no bull crap, just real conversations. Thank you for joining us for the Middle of the Street podcast.
We're back, folks. Been a minute again, just kind of a busy summer.
But we're here. We're here now. We're here now. You know what? I want to give a shout out to Patrick Mahomes. Wow. Why? I know. I'm not even a Kansas City fan. I watched Evolution of the Black Quarterback. It's a really, really cool documentary on Prime. And I had never been a Patrick Mahomes fan. And all of a sudden I watched Patrick Mahomes' interview portion and I liked Patrick Mahomes. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes.
He's a pretty good dude, I think.
Shout out to Pat. You know what I think it was? I think I was annoyed with his wife. Because his wife always just looks...
Dressed to the nines, man.
She always looks like she's more of the main event than Pat and wants more of the the fanfare than the NFL guy, which is what it is.
Well, but I don't know that he doesn't like that too. Like his lady standing out, being well dressed, being a lot in of his life, because it sounds like those. I mean, they've been together since high school, right?
Yeah. I'm not even talking about how she dresses. It's just she seems to wants to be the main event. But whatever, it is what it is. How come she can't be the main event?
How do you think it's going to work with
what it is.
With Taylor Swift and Kelsey, who's going to make the main event there?
Oh, you know what just happened? You know what just happened? Megan and I were in Kansas City on Friday and Saturday. And Saturday, we took a picture in Union Station. It was a really cool thing. And I didn't know what it was. But it had this TS and then 12. And it just was a cool setup. I didn't know what it was. So people are taking pictures in front of it. So Megan and I, we sat and we got the picture in front of it. And then I posted on Facebook, like, I don't know what this is, but it was pretty. So we took a picture in front of it. They're like, that's Taylor Swift, her 12th album. So we're Swifties now.
Her new album, is it?
Yeah. So we're officially Swifties now. So
wow.
Now I got to embrace it. Now I'm a Swiftie, man. Didn't even know it.
But I didn't either.
I didn't know it. I didn't know it. I'm all about Taylor Swift now.
You've been listening to a lot of her music?
Shake It Off is all I know. Shake It Off. Trying to think if I know anything else. I don't. Name a Taylor Swift song, Pops.
None.
Dang.
Zero, zip. I hear some on the radio, but I don't really pay that close of attention. I am not a Swiftie. I apologize.
You're not a Swiftie? Like I, said,
I shouldn't even apologize. I'm not a Swiftie.
I just converted into a Swiftie just because I didn't know what I was doing. That's what happens when you stand in front of something, you don't know what it is, and you just bandwagon. I just bandwagoned it, but whatever. Oh, she has a new podcast out, and it's going tough. She has a podcast. Her and Travis, I think, got a podcast.
She appeared on Travis and Jason's.
Is that what it is?
She appeared on that. Thing? No, she appeared on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was big. It was a big news.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
Now, is there a bigger deal than this, though? Let's get right into our biggest topic, huh?
Yeah. Well, ICE Detention Center in McCook, Nebraska. You ever been to McCook?
Yes.
They got a really cool golf course.
I haven't been there. I just drove through around.
They got a really cool golf course there.
Really?
It's through a valley. I mean, you kind of hit hilltop to hilltop. It's kind of an interesting...
is there a lot of water?
Interesting track. No.
Good.
But a lot of blind shots.
But I won't lose a lot of balls.
Well, there's a lot of blind shots. So if you hit the ball very far, you can definitely lose balls. So it's tough when you're hitting up a 80-foot, 90-foot elevation from the bottom and you can't see the flag.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Here, let's move this up just a bit. Let's go.
Oh, there you go. That's way better.
Bang, bang.
Way better for my back because I'm a little sore.
Oh, yeah. Let's get it in. Bang,
I'm a little sore from putting in posts today at the farm.
You putting in posts?
Putting in some fence posts for some no trespassing sign. Having a little problem.
Like I said, you got Ben Cartwright problems.
Yeah.
People coming through your Ponderosa.
Yeah, it's not quite a Ponderosa, but it's all I got, man. It's legacy ground. That's
good stuff. I want a Ponderosa. Up the street, we almost bought a house on Ponderosa Lane just because it was called Ponderosa Lane.
It's kind of like in Chandler, Arizona. There's a 3-block street that's called Sesame Street.
Really?
And everybody wants a house.
Everybody wants a Sesame Street.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I was in Canada this week.
Okay.
Shout out to the Canadians.
And prayers out to your brother, to your friend.
Yeah, his mom. Yes. She's doing really well. Donnie's mom's doing really good.
Good.
But I have to say that this was, we all got pulled in for interviews, which was kind of the first time.
Like on customs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Going into Canada.
Okay.
And some stuff that they go back that maybe didn't happen. Like, you got ticketed for a DUI, but everything got dropped, for whatever reasons, but it still stayed on a guy's record. He almost didn't get into Canada.
Oh, wow.
I mean, mine was pretty uneventful, but
you got a pretty vanilla
there was 4
criminal history.
Yeah, apparently. There was 4 Mounties at the border there. They're Border Patrol, I guess.
Okay.
3 of them were just absolutely the nicest people in the world. The gal that was doing the interviewing, she was a little bit aggressive.
Okay.
I didn't have any problems because, she asked me 2 questions, and apparently what she pulled up matched what I told her.
Okay.
So there wasn't any issues.
Okay.
So I was pretty through.
I'd have some bigger issues.
The U.S. folks were really fine with us coming back in. It was probably our easiest coming back into the States.
Sure.
Pretty surprising.
But Canada held you up just a little bit. Just your
Yeah,
homies.
they did, which is kind of interesting. Because all the people, we went to Wawa, Ontario.
Okay.
It's not too far from that. The local people were so glad we were there.
Yeah. Spending money?
Yeah. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
it's a big part of their economy in that part there. There's a lot of hunting, fishing, and they were ecstatic we were there. They said thank you more than once. And we said, hey, thanks for having us.
Do they speak any French up there?
No.
No, it's just all English?
Yeah.
It's one of those English places of Canada.
Well, it's right there by the UP. It's not too far from the Upper Peninsula. So a lot of those folks at some point probably worked down in the Detroit area.
Oh,
they were in automotive.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So
but the craziness was coming back is I hear about this ICE detention center in McCook, Nebraska.
Yes, the Cornhusker Clink.
Yeah, and I don't like that name at all.
The Cornhusker Clink.
Why can't it just be ICE detention in McCook, Nebraska?
Because, look, I'm just getting right into it. The things that people hate about, I say the swag of a lot of Black culture. Again, it's not color, it's culture. Okay. The things people hate about the swag of a lot of Black culture, right? Whether you hate Coach Prime, or they hate the swag of Shador Sanders, say, oh, he wears the big chain and things like that, right? The things that they hate about that, they seem to love with Trump. Like they love alligator Alcatraz. They love the big, beautiful bill. And now Cornhusker Clink. Like this all comes down. I know it was Jim
that
Pellin
Cornhusker Clink, it looks like that came from Nome and Pillen.
Yeah, but that's a rub off of the gander of Trump. Now again, like me personally, right? I'm a poet. So I'm down with sayings and cool names and branding, right? That's branding. Like legendary is branding. Right?
Yeah.
Cornhusker Clink, that's branding. Alligator Alcatraz, that's branding. But it's just kind of a side of my thorn because it's like it's okay when he does it.
Yeah.
But it's not when the other part of the culture does it. It's just kind of like, why?
The branding in general. I mean, the alligator Alcatraz, I get that spin on. There's an Alcatraz in California, and they did it in the Everglades, full of alligators. I get that. The Cornhusker thing, that ties back to kind of the brand of the state or brand of UNL.
Not
football.
kind of.
It definitely does.
It is the brand. You're right. It's the brand.
Why didn't they call it the Bug-Eater Clink? Go clear back. Then nobody would have known where the hell it was.
But Cornhusker Clink, because that's when I tell you what. Whenever you travel somewhere and you say, and people ask where you're from, right? First thing people never believe is I'm from Nebraska, but whenever I travel anywhere, they say, "Hey, where are you from?"
In Jamaica,
Nebraska,
they know you're not Jamaican as soon as you start talking.
I just got to talk, and I get the tourist price. But as soon as I say from Nebraska, what's the first thing people say?
Football.
Oh, the Cornhusker State.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cornhuskers. Oh, the
How's
Huskers.
the football team going to be?
Yeah, right. It's the Cornhuskers. So yeah, it is our brand. So they spin off the brand, right? The Cornhusker Clink. What are your initial thoughts on the Cornhusker Clink?
I think it's a stupid name. Just because.
Cornhusker Clink. You don't like the name.
I don't like the name because it's a spin against the brand of the University of Nebraska. Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's going to hurt the brand of the University of Nebraska. The people are going to make fun of it. Mm-hmm. Probably not going to kill the brand, but it's just. I think it's just it's a stupid.
It's just unnecessary.
Name. Why isn't just Nebraska
Yeah, it's just unnecessary.
ICE detention center?
Right, it's just unnecessary. Because everything that he has to do, and I'm saying just Trump, right? Everything he has to be cool. Like everything has to be branded.
Everything's a brand.
He is a brand. I get it. Like he's not a businessman. He's a businessman. Yeah. Jay-Z. But for real, like everything is a brand.
And if they'd have just said ICE detention center in McCook, Nebraska, I don't think, of the 330 million people, I bet there's 150 million of them that don't even know where Nebraska's at.
100%.
And if they just started looking for McCook, I think it'd take them a long time to find it without Google.
No, 100%. And the other thing is, there'd have been a lot less backlash.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of backlash just because it's so easy to say Cornhusker Clink. I mean, that's a really, don't get me wrong, it rolls off the tongue, right? As a person who appreciates poetry, it rolls off the tongue. That being said, and as a person that appreciates the beauty in things, right? Even if you don't agree with it, you have to appreciate the beauty and the genius of things, right? So the Cornhusker Clink for the base of people that really, really love everything that Trump does. And I'm saying, because there's some fans that just love everything no matter what, right? Mm-hmm. Just like there's fans on the blue side. When I say blue side, I mean the Democrat side, who just love everything that any Democrat does. So they just applaud everything, right? So for the base like that, the die hard base that just loves everything, that's a cool thing to them. They love the branding. They love all that. Cornhusker Clink. But I know it's different because we're from here.
Yeah.
It's different because it's our...
Cornhusker means something to us.
It does.
It doesn't mean something to the ballots unless
You're right.
Unless they're a football fan.
100%.
Because most of them, football, volleyball.
Mm-hmm. Well, also, let me add this, because I know we're not talking anything about the actual detention center right now. We're just talking about the name, but still, the name's important. The words are important. When it comes to the Cornhusker Clink, when it comes to the Cornhusker brand in general, what is one of the things that a lot of the people from the base say, and I said this on my personal TikTok the other day, a lot of the base says, keep politics out of sports. Keep politics out of my sports. Don't do a kneel during the national anthem on politics. Don't do a Black Lives Matter on the field. Don't do a equity and equality on the jerseys. Keep politics and social justice crap out of sports. That's what I hear a lot from that diehard base. But then again, it's okay when their guy does it.
Yeah,
But I'm talking about diehard base, right?
Yeah.
There's many things that you will disagree with the Republican Party about, right? And there's many things that I'll disagree with about both parties. And, so I wouldn't say that we're up here representing the diehard base. Saying even if you're a registered Republican or even if I'm a registered Republican or, whatever it is, I'm not saying that we're the diehard base, but many people who are, right, in that diehard base, they, for some reason, it's okay when Trump does it. The same thing when it comes to Biden, right?
Yeah.
Oh, if it's about free speech, right? There wasn't a president who was more downtrodden on free speech in our lifetime, I believe, than President Biden. But it's okay when he does it. And all the Democrats who are diehard, they will excuse it and they'll even cheer it on. But then when Trump wants to do it, let's say with DEI, then it's all of a sudden, he's the worst person in the world. He's stopping everything. It's such a big play against our First Amendment rights and against civil rights and all these different things. But when Biden does it, it's okay. So that's, it goes both ways. It goes both ways. When it's your player and your team, for some reason they cheered on.
I think that the scary part about it to me is, and if you look at polls across the country, when it comes to illegal immigrants, I still call them illegal immigrants. I know they're supposed to be called undocumented, whatever. People that are here that, hey, they haven't been invited or don't have paperwork that says they should be here. It was resounding, like 82% of the people said, yes, we want them removed. At the same time, then there's one side of it that says, well, it takes me back to slavery. Who's going to pick our fruit? Who's going to clean our hotel rooms? Who's going to, wait a minute, are we after just cheap labor? Because, the Democrats, at one point, they scream about, we've got to move the minimum wage. We got to move the minimum wage. We got to move the federal minimum wage. But at the same time, we're letting gazillions of people in, 10 million under Biden.
Sure.
And we're paying them a substandard wage.
I wouldn't even call it substandard, but yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
I won't call it slave wages because, of course, slave wages is nothing.
Yeah.
But yes,
but very substandard.
Sharecropper wages.
Yeah. Well, I sharecrop, so.
but no, I mean like.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Like you're in debt at the end of it.
Yeah.
But seriously,
it's just.
And yeah, I guess it's tough because I guess sharecropping, not in the denotation, but in the connotation of after chattel slavery.
Yeah.
So yeah, because I know what you mean. Like you own land and you sharecrop with another gentleman who you like split
50-50 sharecrop.
Split profits with.
It's not the 20.
That's different.
Yeah, we split input
that's
costs.
Different. But that's different.
Yeah, it's different. It is. But it drives me crazy that then, so they can't have cheap labor. Well, I don't want cheap labor. I mean, I really don't. And I've owned businesses, been involved in businesses.
Yeah.
People making more money is important.
Yeah.
It's the only way to get a chance to move up in life or in our country.
Yeah.
Is it takes, as you've said multiple times, you got to figure out how to make more money.
Got to make more money. Got to make more money.
Money solves a lot of problems. I mean, when I was, VP of sales, it's really easy, guys. Sales heal a lot of sins.
Hey, you know what's a gross thing? It was a psyop that they made this song popular in the early 90s in black culture was Mo Money, Mo Problems. And that's a psyop because there's a lot of problems you can fix with money. I'm not saying your personal little crap or whatever. If you're an asshole without money, you're going to be an asshole with money. But I mean, when you have more money, that solves a lot of your problems and it solves a lot of the things that you're going through. And it also takes a lot of stress off of family, takes a lot of stress off relationships, all those things. Like more money, more problems is a psyop.
But some people, it's more money, more problems because they don't know how to manage it. They don't have the goals of what they're going to do with more money. They don't have the things that they can translate. If I get more money, I can do ABC.
Sure.
They get more money and then they go, well, hell, now I'm just going to party.
Sure.
We've seen that. I mean, that's kind of what happens to a lot of professional athletes.
Sure. Without. I mean, what they say, it's in the scripture. A fool and his money will soon part. Right? I mean, yeah. 100%. But making more money is the goal. It is the thing you need to do.
Yeah.
Make that money.
Yeah, it's the only way to provide for your family at a level that you want.
Yes.
Now, and that level can be much different from family to family. My parents would probably say I spoiled my children because I did well financially. But, all of them had to work. All of them know how to work. All of them do work. All of them have mortgages. It wasn't like they were walking around with a silver spoon in their mouth. Sure.
Sure. No, I get it. But you're supposed to do better for your kids than what was done for you. Like that is the goal. And you want your kids to be better than what you were. And, all those things. So you have to give them more opportunity, more things. Now, I know y'all want us to get into the brass tacks of this ICE stuff, but one more second when it comes to money as well, because you brought up the fact of Democrats always want this minimum wage to be bumped higher and higher. Okay, so
federal minimum wage, state minimum wages in most places are already way above it.
Well, this is true, but even in a place like, let's say, Lincoln, Nebraska, the capital of Nebraska. That city is ran by Democrats overwhelmingly. And not just Democrats, I mean bleeding blue Democrats, the type of liberal that Malcolm X warned you against. That being said, look, people are going to hate on that. I don't care. It is what it is. I stand on it. That being said, the mayor is one of those people that pushes that federal minimum wage has to be 15, has to go higher than 15. Everybody should be getting at least 15 for a livable wage, right? But then how come I would drive by, this is just last year, I drive by Lincoln High School. Lincoln High School, is that the oldest high school in Nebraska? Maybe. Anyways.
Maybe one in Omaha older, but.
I mean, Lincoln High School has been there since 18-something.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so that being said, it's the landmark high school in Nebraska. And on the fence, there's a big banner. It said, now hiring lunch cooks and janitors starting at $11 an hour. That's the hypocrisy I'm talking about.
And that was before. That must have been like 2 years ago.
That was last year.
Well, because the minimum wage just increased. And maybe it doesn't increase until.
It's like maybe they passed
January
a law, 1st. But it don't hop until up.
And it steps up to. It has a progression to get to 15. I think that's 3 or 4 years. I just looked at Nebraska's minimum wage is $13.50.
But when does it have to get there? We don't know. Yeah, but it must step up progressively,
to
right?
15, and then at that point, then they cap it at 3% a year.
So
at least it will continue to go up.
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. That's just the hypocrisy crap I'm talking about. How you gonna have the city you represent, the county, the LPS, Lincoln Public Schools? No, excuse me, the city schools, LPS, Lincoln Public Schools. You're gonna have your own schools starting people at $10 and $11 an hour, but you're screaming for 15.
So there's states that do not have a state minimum wage.
What, people get paid more, don't they?
No, they just fall to this federal minimum wage. Alabama, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana,
really?
Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi.
But what I'm wondering is this:
New Hampshire.
Okay, but what I would like to see is this. I would like to see those states. I'd like to see some type of stat on those states as if they in total, if wages are more actually in places that don't have federal minimum, that don't have state minimum wages. Because it seems like sometimes these things are, they work backwards, right? Like you try to pass a law so people have to get paid so much money or whatnot, but really it's better if people just know their worth and then demand even more than the federal wage. Because once you do have a minimum wage, I'm not saying it's all bad, but once you have a minimum wage, then that's kind of like a benchmark where people could start you, right?
So it's interesting. So Massachusetts didn't. So the average hourly wage, highest in the country, $42 an hour, is Washington, Massachusetts, and California. Makes sense. Those are all pretty expensive places to live.
They are. Colorado's
at $39.19.
So two of the people on the list was Louisiana and Mississippi, and they are at some of the lowest, right?
Well, 29 Louisiana, the lower average. Louisiana is at 29.17 average. Mississippi's at 28.25 average.
Those are the states that lower. That's the lowerly.
That's the average hourly wage.
Just letting you know, a lot of people may be watching this. Just let you know you ain't getting paid enough.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. You ain't get paid. But again, I think a lot of it starts because you accept a low wage because the minimum wage they've set is so low. So you just say, oh, well, at least I'm not, at least I'm over that. I'm at this benchmark.
See, this is all hourly wage people. So these are master electricians.
No. I get it. Yeah. I get it. I'm just saying, because when I was having a conversation with a gentleman once and he was telling me how before some place didn't do a minimum wage and they always got paid so much more than everybody else because they didn't come into it at a bottom.
Yeah.
They came into it like, no, I know my worth. I know what I'm working at. I'm not going to go down to your federal minimum wage. I'm not going to go down to your state minimum wage. I'm coming in the gate like I'm going to get paid at this amount because this is what I'm worth.
I mean, I think the federal minimum wage really, it probably should go up because it's really affecting us part-time workers.
Mm-hmm.
Kids working after school, adults working fast food or other places. That's probably the place that it. But I just saw McDonald's in Lincoln was at $16 an hour.
Hey, and they look, McDevil's
and
still
way
ain't
more.
got
That's
you.
way more than you made when you worked there.
Oh man, when I worked at McDevil's, I started at McDevil's for $4.15 an hour.
Yeah.
$4.15. Yes, $4.15. How would we leave? I don't know. I don't know what I was doing. I don't know why I was working.
6 years ago.
Yeah, I was 14. I was 14. I started at $4.15. Megan said her first job at Hy-Vee, she was getting like $6 something.
Yeah.
I should have been working at Hy-Vee. But see, hold on. Hy-Vee was a locally employee owned.
Owned out of Iowa.
Owned out of Iowa, but it's all like employee owned, and right? It's
Yep.
all, it's a local joint. It's not the huge big corporation. And like I said, you work for McDoubles, that's what you get. Hey, and Hy-Vee has a really nice health section nowadays. Shout out to Hy-Vee. Shop Hy-Vee, where there's a helpful smile in every aisle. They need to give us some money for that.
That's an old commercial.
Yeah, I watched too much TV.
We shop at Hy-Vee a lot.
Yeah, I used to like Hy-Vee a lot. Big Hy-Vee. All right, we did a lot on the money. Okay, that I don't know how that got us to money, but
so what are we doing here on removals? How's the whole ICE thing working? You got some data here. It looks like.
I mean, look, I just got some numbers just because I felt like we can go over something later, but just what are just your overall thoughts on where? And again, I just want to say this as a disclaimer, right? Don't think for a second that this is new. That's what I'm saying. Don't think for a second this is new. This isn't like all of a sudden Trump gets in office and he just starts throwing people out the country, okay? Because this not only isn't new, but the rhetoric isn't new, okay? Every single president is tough on crime, tough on immigration, tough on drugs, tough on, what's another marquee thing that they all do? Taxes.
Well, right. Republicans always want to reduce taxes.
You got to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
You got to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
But so that's what I'm saying. Like, I just want to put that out as a disclaimer, right? This isn't, I wouldn't say by and large, this isn't a Trump or a Republican policy thing. This is an immigration policy thing that's been consistent for our whole country since, I don't know.
Ronald Reagan.
There you go. But
at least
seriously,
Reagan.
But you know what I mean? Like, this is a consistent thing where people are against immigration, and it has to be in a certain way. You can't just come into the country flooding in like Ellis Island anymore. You can't just, it just is what it is. This has been very consistent. Whether Obama said you have to come in here the right way and we're going to take you out if you're not, the deporter in chief, whether it was Biden, whether it's Clinton, all of them. And all of them had way bigger numbers than Mr. Trump, okay? So now, but getting on to this here, now we're in 2024.
He at least, the one thing I will say is that the border crossings are down like 99%.
And you know one
versus same month a year ago.
Okay, well, you know what one thing that border crossings being down does? It saves lives.
Oh, absolutely. Saves lives?
It saves lives. What I mean by that is I'm a documentary filmmaker, and I've seen documentary that will wrench your heart out watching 14 and 13, 15-year-old kids trying to cross the border, getting killed, getting kidnapped, young girls getting kidnapped, getting lost in the sex trade system, and the coyotes that families, you got a mother giving her whole life savings over to a coyote. That's a brother that's helping to get you over the border, and they take all your money, leave you for dead, rape you. Like, those are horrible things. And then you think about, well, what are these people going through to where they really want to get to America that bad that they take that type of risk, right? So there's that as well. But that is one thing I would say that the lowering of border crossings does, is it can save lives. It can really save lives. Waterboy. It can really save lives. So,
it can. It's just interesting to me. I mean, they've, the arrests are down so much this year. Although, if you listen to the media, you would think that Trump and his immigration enforcement group, that they have arrested and shipped 10 million people out.
Sure. It still ain't caught up to Biden.
That's a fraction of what Biden.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying it still ain't caught up to Biden when it comes to like day for day type crap, right? It's like it's finally getting right on par with what Biden was doing.
Yeah.
But people say, well, it's how he's doing it. It's how they're doing it. And I don't know about that. I don't know. I guess the news wasn't reporting it like that. Or where was Biden get all his people from? Where was Barack getting all his people from, right? Was it not the ICE agents with the mask coming up to the eyes and stuff? You know what I'm saying?
To me, what it tells me that the media turned the blind eye to that. And now because this is Trump, it's front page news. Because, I mean...
And all the videos and all the things.
Yeah.
And,
I mean, yeah, could you imagine if Trump wiped his ass left-handed? They would just be all over him about it for some reason.
Well,
I mean, it's crazy.
I do remember when Obama wore a tan suit.
Yeah.
That was a blow mind. But seriously, though, when I remember watching the news one time. This was during Obama's presidency. And it was in McCook. I'm not kidding. I think this was in McCook. This little girl was on the news. And she was crying her eyes out. She must have been 7 or 8. She's crying her eyes out because she came home and her father was gone.
That was in Lexington.
That was Lexington?
Lexington, that big packing plant.
Man, and I'm talking about, this is a while ago. You know, this was a while ago. And she was crying her eyes out, man. And I just felt so bad
20 years
for
ago.
her. I just felt so bad for her, man. Because her parents are gone and she had nothing now. And now she's just here. She didn't know what to do. And she was crying, said she don't know what her parents, because they had got taken away and shipped off. But what I'm saying is, again, it's nothing new. It's nothing new. And the original cages, I believe, were built by Mr. Obama.
They were.
When Trump had his first go at it and he's putting all the people in cages and you got to see it and all the senators went down there talking about it and they're protesting outside of there and all that, those were built by Obama, which was, again, it's just a weird thing, like, are you mad at Trump or are you mad at immigration policy? And you better, I think Bobby Seale said it best. He says, if you're mad at a white person just because they're white, you better do some real searching and some real research and figure out just what it is that you're mad at and what you want to stop, because you're wasting your time.
Well, it's interesting.
For real, I think a lot of it is people are just mad at Trump because he's this old white guy doing it. But it's like stop being mad because he's a white guy and get mad because of the real issue that you really want to solve.
It's amazing to me of how many people who have been protesting something about Trump, and they say he shouldn't be in office because he's a convicted felon. Okay. And they'll say, well, what felony did he commit? Can you name that felony?
Sure, they don't know.
And most of them come back and say rape. Well, he was never convicted of rape.
This is true.
I mean, it's just...
This is true. I know.
I guess it probably depends on where you're getting your information and what you believe.
I feel it. But a felony is a felony. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, and again, I know it was... What him getting a felony was, in my opinion, not really legit. That being said, a lot of people say, hey, what's something that a white man can do today that a black man can't do today? You cannot be president with a felony. You can't even be, like I'm going to keep it real. You can't even get, you can't work at the school with a felony if you're black. You can't, there's so many things if you're a felon. Like if you're a felon and you're black, you're going to be an entertainer. If you're a felon, you're going to be an entertainer, man. You're going to be... You have to own your own business. You're going to have to be something. I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not so sure that the reason why Trump hasn't traveled as much abroad is because some of those countries want to allow him in as a felon.
That might be something.
But he can be the president. There's nothing that says you can't be the president just because you're a felon.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but there's also nothing that said that, again, it's the unwritten laws.
Why they didn't put that in there, I have no idea.
It's the unwritten rules, which, I get it why they didn't put that in there though, right? Because if you're a patriot, you're probably going to be a felon.
Yeah, potentially.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? If you're
maybe
a
not
real
convicted,
patriot,
but you've committed probably a felony.
You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a real patriot, you're going to be going against the grain, going against the laws and things like that. So, I get it. And especially when I try to think it through the founders' eyes. Yeah. Right? These guys were felons. But let's not go there because the law wasn't the law. But however it goes, they're thinking that, the British can make anything criminal, right? Like you criminalize any behavior that you don't want or that you want to, if you want to hold down a certain segment of people, then you criminalize their behavior. And that's where I could see where the founders would say, hey, we better not put nothing in there about you can't be a felon or you can't be this, you can't be that. It's crazy.
Yeah, because people just start making shit up.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But look at all the crazy. What's that guy's name? Wiener? That's crazy.
Anthony Weiner.
Weiner. Oh man.
Yeah, with the laptop.
Oh man, and they still trying to get this brother voted in. Like his political career still ain't over.
No.
And, that's what I'm talking about. The hypocrisy, right? When you go after Trump, say, oh, he's a racist, but you was cool with Weiner.
It's amazing to me that they're now going after charges for the same crimes that Letitia James tried Trump on. They're going after her on the same things, on mortgage stuff and lying on loan documents.
Again, man, when it's your team, you just do anything. It's kind of like, when you're watching a football game or whatnot, and I'm not like this, right? I just call it is how it is. I really, really do. If I think that it's a bad call, I'll be like, that's a bad call. It worked for us, but that's a bad call, Yeah. But, like, you'll be watching a football game and your guy is holding, and you'll be like, oh, yeah, that's not a, but then they're holding, you're going crazy. Like, that's literally how we've made this political realm.
And there's holding on every play.
On every play. But that's literally how we've made it. You know what I mean? It's targeting one play, it's not the other play because your player's involved. It's ridiculous. But okay, ICE, they got a new thing. And okay, I'll go over some of these numbers. They sound bad sometimes, and then sometimes you're like, I don't know. So let's start out with just total removals. So this is for the year of 2024 removals. Okay. And what they do is they take it from like today all the way back to 2023. You see what I'm saying?
Fiscal year, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like they're taking it, like, it's not like this is just from January 1, 2024. Like, they do these numbers cumulatively, saying like, this is from now to, so if it's August 20th, from August 20th, 2023 to now, here's what's popped. Okay. When did Trump become president again?
January of
2024.
25. It's just been in office 200 days.
200 days. Hasn't been a full year.
He's not been in a year yet.
Hasn't been a full year. So again, some of these numbers aren't even on Trump's watch.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's fiscal 24.
So really, what? So none of these numbers on Trump watch?
No.
So these is all, they don't have Trump watch's numbers yet. Okay, so this is still
I was trying to look
watch.
them up, and they're just minuscule.
They're just not there yet because you have to be, okay, so this is Biden's watch because there ain't been a whole year of Trump, okay? So thanks for clarifying that, Pops. This is Biden's watch. 271,484 individuals have been removed in the fiscal year 2024. Okay, removed. So of those that had a criminal history, 32.7% had a criminal history. Now, I know some people are going to say they're all criminals because they came over illegally, right? But then some people say, look, if you're an asylum seeker, you're not illegal. So there's a legal battle right there, right? That's just a legal battle. So however you want to put it. So we're going to go off these numbers where they're saying that 32.7% of these people had a criminal history. Of course, some people are going to say no, 100%.
But these individuals averaged 5 points.
Out of the 32.7% of the criminals that have a criminal history, they averaged about almost, I'm just rounded up, 6 convictions or charges each, or charges. Now, let me just say this, right? When I was arrested and charged with the crimes, I was charged with 3 crimes at once. All of them got dismissed. I bonded out, luckily, had some money. And so I didn't have to spend it in, and I didn't mess with the public pretender who wanted me to take a plea deal, right? That being said, just because you're charged doesn't mean that it is what it is, but however it goes. Okay. Types of violent offenses among those who were removed. Now, this is where it gets a little scary. 47,885 these people who of the 271,000 that were removed had assaults, either convictions or charges. Sexual assaults or sex offenses was 16,552. That was the second biggest category, was sexual assaults, sexual offenses. Now, again, if this is you trying to protect your daughter, your whatever, you're saying that's crazy. Now, I don't have the numbers right now for just regular American citizens that doing sexual assault, but we know it's crazy. That being said, because a lot of people say, oh, well, like, give me just the number of regular citizens doing that, right? Which it's outstanding, I'm sure. I'm sure you can pull it up, how many American citizens were charged with sexual assaults, charged or convicted. I'm sure it's a whole bunch. I'll keep going while he's looking. Weapons offenses. People here that are trying to practice the Second Amendment that aren't citizens. 10,862 of those people had weapons offenses. Now, again, this could be, for example, one person could have all of these charges or convictions as well, right? Like one person could have assaulted somebody and sexually assaulted somebody and had a weapon.
I don't think so, because the numbers wouldn't add up.
Well, you're better at math. Do some quick math.
Yeah, I'm just...
I mean, if they can have 5 or 6 charges, convictions each, you would think that...
Yeah, but that's coming from about 90,000
Does that come
of the
about
removal. 90? That's about that 88,000 people. So that can't be the double.
It can't be double?
Mm-mm.
So you're saying it's one...
Because removals with any criminal history, that's how many of them there were, and that's about what that total number is.
That's about what that is?
Yep.
Okay. Now, burglaries, thanks for clearing that up. Burglaries, about 9,475. That's a lot. Robberies, about 4,906. Homicides, right? Like killing people, 2,669. Kidnappings, 2,423. So those are the biggest numbers right there. So that's like tough. That's rough. Now, total bookings, this is a snapshot, right? We can do a snapshot.
Yeah.
Snapshot on October 1, people who were in detention, right?
Which that's the start of fiscal year 2025.
Okay, so your boy, so it's just a snapshot. It's not the whole thing, but it's a snapshot. On October 1, you had 204,000 people, 297.
So October
basically.
through January 20th is still all Joe Biden.
So that snapshot, there's 204,000 people were detained. Okay, they were booked in some type of facility, right? Out of that, here's where, okay, what you got the number first?
So this is 2023.
Okay.
There was 127,000 reported cases of forensicable rape. Rape. Up from 34,000 arrests in 1995 and 94. Oh, sorry about that.
Up from 94,000.
From 94,000
okay, so look,
in 95. So whatever that is, 8 years.
I mean, so that's still a lot of people. It's a lot of people. I know we have a lot of, it's 300 something, 330 million people in America.
Percentage-wise, that's pretty low.
Percentage-wise, pretty low. Percentage-wise here, that's much higher of these folks.
Yeah, I mean, there it's 5%.
But that being said, as well,
total removals.
We know, I think they say it's something like 90% of rape, sexual assaults never get what's that called? Reported, which is sad. Which is just sad. We got to do a better job of protecting our women. But that being said, I guess we got to do a better job of raising our men. But that being said,
better job of raising our men, because some of these are sexual assault to young men from men.
You're right.
So I mean, these sexual assaults aren't just that's not gender specific.
No, you're right.
And there's some sick.
You're right. No, 100%.
Sick people out there,
100%.
Man.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that the stat is 1 in 4 girls by the time they're 18 will be sexually assaulted in some way.
Stupid.
And then something like 1 in 10 boys, but the boys just probably ain't saying it. Anyways, it's all bad. It's all bad. Now, of these 204 people that were detained, 65% of those people had no criminal conviction other than being in the country illegally, right? So 65% of the people had no criminal conviction. Fewer than 7% of all the bookings, right, of that snapshot had no violent criminal records. Like 93% of those folks who were in the snapshot who were detained, not removed, we're going back to the detained people, had no violent criminal record, right? Meaning they could have did a traffic stop, a traffic violation, jaywalking, whatever. But no, maybe stole something too, right? But nothing violent, right? And I think the narrative, I guess why this is important to me is just because the narrative seems to be that we're throwing out the people, the worst of the worst people. We're throwing out the most dangerous people. All these people are throwing out are just MS-13. They got guns. They're going to come and kill you. They're going to rape you. I don't know. But these are the people that were detained.
Yeah, but
these people that were detained.
The people that were allegedly detained for a longer period of time, visa had expired, had no green card. I mean, they shouldn't be here. I mean, if we were in China and that, we'd be in a prison.
But we ain't China.
No, we're not.
We're not China. So Ishma said something to me.
Most countries, though, you go to jail.
Sure. Ishma said something to me yesterday. And I know we're not a Christian country. But see, I was listening to a song I made the other day. It's called Charge. And I said, I really wish this whole country really was Christian. Instead of y'all hitmen, henchmen, something. You know, I went on and on and on and on. But that being said, because he was saying that, you know, in his teachings from school, he goes to a Catholic school. They were going over the teachings. And they said that, you know, I forget where it was somewhere in his Bible, that they were saying the most protected people, the people that we have the most obligation to protect under the Christian faith, are orphans, widows, and immigrants.
Those that aren't capable of protecting themselves.
But so when he says orphans, widows, and immigrants, and again, I know this country isn't Christian, right? It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be separation of church and state. But the base of the, I know, not the base of these guys. Wait. Not the base of the blue guys. Not the base of the blue guys. But the base of the Republican Party that cheers this on right now. Not saying that the other people didn't cheer this on, because they didn't say shit about it when it was happening to them, right? When it was the blue people doing it, they didn't say shit about it. But the base of the red guys, the Republicans, are Christians. And 70% of these people don't have a criminal conviction. And 93% of them that they're detaining don't have a violent criminal record. Now that's if this is still consistent.
Yeah.
That's if this is still consistent.
That's that small
But what I'm saying
piece.
is, it is. But what I'm saying is, when you're running up into a Los Mexicanos restaurant, or you're running up into a meat packing plant, people working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, you're getting a lot of these people that don't have that violent criminal history, that don't have a criminal history.
And some of them have been here long enough that they could have applied.
But we do know what that takes. When you do apply, a lot of times you get hit. It is a shit show on becoming an American citizen. For a lot of people. Work. Now, look, some people say, no, Ishma, it isn't. We've done it the right way. I did it the right way. I dig it.
It's time.
But there's also people that have said, look, we've tried to do this for 12 years and gotten nowhere. Right? So I do think it's case by case. Well, I do think it's tough.
It's getting to the right people that know the system to get through it. It's no different than anything else to get through our system, our government system. Mm-hmm. People know paths that get things through. And other people, you know, they hit this wall, then they got to bounce over here, and then they got to bounce over here. And it takes a long time, especially when you're trying to do it yourself. I mean, that's one of the tough things about it.
Especially if you ain't got no money.
Exactly. And the other thing is with the illegal immigrants, they ship something like 40% of their earned money in this country back to their home country.
Okay.
So from a U.S. standpoint, which is a consumer country, consumer spending is a lot. Mm-hmm. If that would continue, and we went from having, they're saying, I don't know what, 25 million now, something like that, illegal immigrants here.
Has to be more than that.
If it continued down that path, our economy would collapse on itself.
Now, if those folks were not afraid, and if they could be citizens easier, and if there was a more simple pathway, and they could bring their abuelas, they could bring their kids, they could bring their wives or whatever, would that money stay here more?
Well, and that was one of the things Trump threw out early on, and it kind of got poo-pooed. Like many countries that people want to move to, there's a dollar amount tied to it. Mm-hmm. You know, you pay $10,000
and you get
X,
and you get put at the front of the line.
Yeah, you pay $20,000, you get Y.
Sure.
I mean, it's a number.
Sure.
I mean, that's how all of these. I got to be careful how I choose my words here, but these democratic socialist countries, that's how they have their immigration come in.
It's like if you can pay the price to get into Greece, you can get in there.
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it.
I mean, there's countries now that are paying American men to move to their country.
Yeah.
To take a wife because their male-female population is so far out of whack.
Yeah.
And they pay them bonuses then for having children that are citizens of those countries.
Look, y'all, if y'all looking at that, I already have a wife. I'm happily married. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I ain't going. But seriously, though, it's just, again, it's just tough for me, too, because I just don't like the narrative of we're getting all real bad people. Right? Because I do think that the majority of these people, 84%, are not threats. So, what I mean by that. But on the other hand, I'm going to quote Brother Malcolm or Brother Ali. I got both of them on the wall. Right here. Yeah. Okay? And when they talk about dangerous white supremacist, right? They would use the analogy as, you have 100, good guys and one bad guy. Is it worth even one bad guy? Right? And they would say no. Now, that being said, they're not, prophets. They're not, they're messengers, but they're not God or, you know what I'm saying? But so I understand that some people say, well, look, Ishma, if 84% aren't threats, that leaves 16% that are. That's way too many to take a chance on to maybe hurt my daughter or hurt my son or to whatever.
And those stats changed a ton. Yeah. In here, the stats changed a ton because they went to L.A., sanctuary cities. The local police departments weren't allowed to help. They didn't participate in turning over criminals to ICE. Mm-hmm. So ICE then had to go in there and do it all. Well, when they're going to raid a packing plant or the big grow house that they did that had all of the child laborers going on there, that wasn't the narrative was, no, man, they raided this illegal immigration place. So it was a grow house having a lot of young kids working at slave labor. That wasn't the conversation. It was they raided this and sent these people back. Well, they were looking for 2 people, I believe, if I read the article correct. They were looking for 2 people. They detained and took 40, 50 people out. Had L.A. County or whatever county that was been doing their part when they'd arrested those people 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 6 months ago, whatever it was, had they taken them and turned them over to ICE then, they'd have never done the raid.
I mean,
that's the other piece of it that drives me crazy.
No, I feel it because there's always something. Again, because we're a fan of something, we excuse something else, right? So you're a fan of the grossly liberal, and I hate even using the liberal word in that term because that's not the denotation, but the connotation that we have now. But the grossly liberal, crazy, wacko stuff in California that will excuse literal slave labor, will excuse sex trafficking, to not look like they're going against their party's line of immigration right now because they're not in power. Right now because they're not in power. Or because you want to be a sanctuary city. It's tough. It's tough because those 10%, right? Because even in June or July, right? It's like, 71% have no criminal records of these ICE convictions, right? But again, then you would say, that the rest of those people did, right? And so it's tough because if you're not doing your job, getting the 30% of the bad guys out, then it's hard not to come with the big. And
like I said, thus far, Omaha's a great example. Omaha kind of wants to be a sanctuary city. I don't think they've labeled themselves that way. But that raid they did here, they detained half of them to export. It wasn't near as many people. I think that's because there was local law enforcement involvement. Instead of local law enforcement going, hey, we can't do that or we'll get fired.
Yeah. Basically, they got the people that they think they
were looking for.
That they're looking for instead of just taking everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's tough because I've heard from business owners here that say, hey, look, business owners in Nebraska, they say it's tough because we have we have people that don't want to come to work because they're scared to come to work. And so they can't feed their families. But they can't do anything because they're scared to come to work because they're afraid they're going to get raided. And he says, like, I can't let them come to work. I said, I'm sorry, you can't come because I got a notice that said, hey, look, we think that there may be people who are illegal, who are here, who are working with you. And if you continue to let them work, we're going to come and raid and we're going to take them. And so he says, I can't have that on my conscience.
Well,
and so he says, hey, look, you can't come to work. So
but he's probably an employer that understands I didn't have a Social Security card. He hired
but
them
what he's
illegally.
saying though is this though, which again to me the law is only as deep as what's right and what's wrong. And giving somebody a fair wage and a fair way to make a dollar it may be against your law, right? But at one point it was against their law for me to go to their college. At one point it was against their law for me to swim in that same pool. So what I'm saying is the law to me doesn't matter as much as morality does. So what I'm saying, this is a good guy who says that, no, you can't come work here anymore because I can't have it on my conscience of you getting thrown out the country because there's a raid that's going to come. So I understand it's against the law, right? It's against a lot of things are against the law, right? Dick Cheney is still free, if I'm not mistaken, right? There's a lot of things against the law, right? So that's all I'm saying is that just because it's against the law doesn't mean that it's morally right. And just because, or morally wrong, doesn't mean it's morally wrong, just because it's against the law. And again, it is okay with the law for a doctor to serve you legal methamphetamine. It is with the law for a doctor to prescribe you fentanyl.
Yeah.
Okay, the brother on the street does it. He's a criminal. He's a felon. Why? Because a different piece of paper. This doctor doesn't know shit more than this guy. I'm keeping it real. But it's against the law. Why? Because we've criminalized it and made it against the law. It wasn't against the law for a bunch of people to come over here and displace the natives or to enslave a bunch of people. But we know now that it is because we have a different morality factor, right?
Well, and we passed laws against those things.
And we
and enforced them.
And even when it comes to constitutional law, right now, it's still it's okay with the law to take me out of the car at any time, because it was a Supreme Court case that go ahead and got ruled that it's not going to hinder me or inconvenience me any more than you pulling me over and talking to me, right? But it's actually really an illegal search and seizure. And I mean, it's really a First Amendment, it's really an amendment that really should have never been gone. So again, yes, we make laws.
They can't search your car without asking or probable cause.
If you arrest me, now you can. And you can arrest me and detain me for just about anything once I hop out the car. I'm just saying there's so many ways to get around it. There's so many ways to do that. There's so many ways to break your rights that you're supposed to have there that are really inalienable. But that being said, again, it's against the law when it's convenient for someone else. I think it just gets back to hypocrisy.
Well, we are not a country of rule followers.
This is true.
And to me, it's no different than when they talk about any of the laws. I'm like, well, before we change a bunch of them, let's look and enforce the ones that are on the books, and then make the right changes and eliminate that law. Not add another law on top of a law on top of a law on top of a law. I mean, it's
we do it a lot. We do it a lot.
I mean, you look at law books. They've just grown and grown and grown. It's just like bills. Bills that they turn into laws. Most of them should be maybe 100 pages. Mm-hmm. But they're thousands of pages now with so much bullshit packed into them.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough, right? It's against the law if you don't send your kid to school.
Yeah.
Now, what if you don't have money for a private school? So now you have to indoctrinate them in what I would call a white supremacist system of schooling. Now, whether you believe that or not, that's my thought. Now, then you say, oh, well, you can homeschool. Well, you have to. It is against the law if you don't first thing make yourself a school, like call yourself a school in your home, and then you have to give up to the government a schedule of what you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Why can't I raise my kid how I want to?
Yeah.
But that's against the law. But it
only became against the law when we gave the federal government the authority over education.
So you're saying before 73 wasn't against the law?
Correct. That's why a lot of kids...
Isn't that over now, though?
No, I mean, the federal government still has it.
No. I thought that we eliminated the
Department of Education. Not completely. They eliminated a whole bunch of the bullshit of it. I mean,
but not that part.
It's no different than when I look at a school system. Lincoln Public Schools, Omaha Public Schools, Grand Island Public Schools. There are more administrative non-classroom teachers than there are classroom teachers. Why? All those non-administrative people, what are they doing to improve the education of that student?
I don't know.
I'm going to go crazy and say zero.
I don't know. I was in LPS and I can't even remember an administrator's name. I can't even tell you.
But
I can't actually. Mr. Stevenson, he made me stand up for the pledge of, or excuse me, for the national anthem, which is illegal.
But you go through and look at the roster of who are educators, teachers, fourth grade teacher, fifth grade teacher, sixth grade.
Excuse me, he kicked me out. But anyways, sorry.
And then
he couldn't make me.
All of the other non-teaching positions.
Yeah.
And then I look at the roster of a larger private school, and the ratio is not like that. And that's probably why they educate them for half the money, or 70%
like per capita,
money.
like per student or whatever. I get it.
Cost per student.
I get it.
And some of those private schools, we're in a pretty blessed part of the country when it comes to private education.
Sure.
I mean, it's way more expensive in Omaha, and I cannot applaud you enough for the sacrifices you've done for my grandchildren to go to private schools. But versus other parts of the country that are 2 and 3x of what you're paying, I mean, doesn't that seem crazy?
Yeah, I dig it, and I get why people do it, man.
Absolutely.
I was talking to my brother the other day, and he said, brother, we looking, I said, man, do you ever think that a Nation of Islam member be sending their kids to a private Catholic school in this place? I said, yeah. I was like, yeah, well, it's way better option than the public schools, and we'll pay to have God in the school. That's cool with me. But that being said, too, to have just more morality in the school. But it's just a better education. It's a better education.
It's a choice.
It's a better education.
It's a sacrifice, and it's a much better education.
Let me tell you something about my son's school compared to when I went to school. Let's just start with the lunches. Let me just start with the lunches. My son actually has a nutritious lunch every day. Like, I don't have to send him with cold lunch because they actually feed that brother real food. Like, and we're vegans, and he has a vegan option every day that's actually real. Go right now to LPS website and look at the lunch options for the rest of the week, and you will almost throw up. It is repulsive. The amount, and this is even after the Michelle Obama push of like the more healthy lunches. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was worse even before. Like, when I went to school, it was even worse, bruh. Like, this is redonkulous. So even what you eat, and then think about this, right? What's the difference? I was taught this. Hey, tell me if I'm wrong. What's the difference in a race horse and just a pack horse, or just like a load horse?
Well, first is genetics and breeding, but then diet and exercise and how they're cared for.
That is really what you eat.
Yeah.
Like, they feed those race horses good.
But pedigree too. I mean, it's no different than my lab.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she has a great hunting pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she eats right. I mean, if she's not eating her prescribed dog food, which I actually got from the vet, said, hey, this is really good stuff for this dog. She's a sport dog. But outside of that, then she gets real chicken.
Mm-hmm.
She gets real olive oil on her regular dog food. So trying to treat her like a very good athlete smart, intelligent. Same thing happens with kids.
Look, it's the same thing when you go into the professional ranks of these athletes. What do their training tables look like?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're eating like a real supreme athlete.
Look.
So I'll take it one step further to the you know what the difference is between a worker bee and then the queen bee? Do you know they start the same? They pick one and they feed what they call the royal jelly to that bee. And it fattens them up, makes them smarter, makes them bigger, and makes them up to 5 to 6 to 7 times bigger than the other bees because of what they eat. It literally is what they eat, And I just...
To me, that was one of the things that put the Cornhusker football team, but all the athletes got to eat at the same trading table. That when they started that in the late 70s, early 80s, that was huge for them. And it's probably been 6 years ago, 7 years ago that I went to lunch there with one of the coaches. I was shocked at what they could eat. I mean, grilled chicken breasts, salad galore. They had different proteins and different everything. And these guys had a menu sheet that they were supposed to eat.
Telling them what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like they're going in there getting grilled cheese and a pizza and a soda and they're good. And that's what I mean by literally, man, what's on the lunch menu for these public schools compared to what's on the lunch menu for these private schools. It's not even comparable. Not only that, but then what I've been hearing, it's all you can eat. It's like a buffet. It's like you get it and you go back and get some more if you need it.
Most of them are.
My goodness, man. I was,
And then,
for real, a lot of time my son come home, I'd be like, you hungry? I'd be like, no, man, I had this for lunch, that for lunch. I'd be like, good God, dog, bruh.
yeah, they could eat well.
Yeah, they eating good out there,
Well,
man.
and finally, the girls didn't have it. They only brought in like fast food options for them at their Catholic school in Lincoln. But now they actually have I think Zach's maybe sophomore year. They actually build on and have a full kitchen and they actually provide
some healthy options.
Good food. Yeah.
I tell you what, it makes so much of a difference. Just eating right is of course where it is. But that's what I mean. It's So we talked about that, but then also we just talked about, of course, because he was like, man, I'm just so fed up with LPS that we had to do something, because he did other things first. And then he's like, couldn't do because he had other kids that were in LPS, right? And so he just knew that. I know people might be like, I heart public schools. Okay, the same people that wear the I heart public schools is the same people that I just saw on Facebook today. They were complaining and crying about Heritage School. You send a letter to the principal and to the administrators and to the district that they're doing Heritage School again and they're having kids pretend like it's 1894 and they're going to school in one classroom school and it's just about the white experience. It doesn't do anything if you're black, if you're native, you're da-da-da-da. Whatever. Okay, first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil. First thing, okay, it's a piece of history. So they're talking about the mainstay experience in Nebraska schools in the 1890s, okay, which is a bunch of like German pioneers and crap. I'm just keeping it real, right? And that's what they're...
Germans, Irish, Polish.
Okay, that's what they're... For real, like that's what they're focusing on, right? Okay, check a bunch of Czech folks. Okay, but that's what they're focusing on, okay? Whatever. Here's my thing. Stop acting like, and again, I mean, you can hate on me if you don't like this take, that's fine. But stop acting like your white supremacist government that runs your school, funds your school, and picks the curriculum for your school isn't then going to, and then you're going to expect them to not have a white supremacist view of what Heritage School is. That being said, I guess do the numbers and things. Like if you want a native heritage school, then I don't know, make that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to, like I'm just keeping it real. Like if you want the Black Experience Heritage School, I guess then make that. But what I'm saying is stop expecting these folks to teach your kids how you want them to when they're not going to treat you how they want you to anyway. I mean, for real, it's like me expecting, and I know people might say I'm going crazy, but whatever. It's like, and the only difference, I'll get there. Stop expecting a Nazi to teach you Jewish history. And the only difference is that the Nazis aren't in power anymore. I'm just keep it real. Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, and them, they won. Like, they won. Like, that's still what's here. Is it like that now? No. Has it got better? Of course. But they won. Like, they're still the ruling class in power. It's still called the American government. The United States of America. That's what it was back then. Like, stop expecting something different out of what is the status quo, I guess is what I'm saying. So I send my kids to a private school because it's not about the American education first. I'm just keep it real. It's about a Catholic education first.
Well, but they meet all of the state guidelines on their curriculum.
They beat all the state guidelines, yeah.
Well, they have to meet all the minimum state guideline stuff. They don't worry about the federal because they're not getting any federal money. The only reason they have to worry about it from a state standpoint is because that's how they stay accredited.
Accredited for the state.
I mean, so
I'm just saying. The
federal government, when they got involved in education, our test scores have consistently went down, and our costs of education have consistently went up. Why? Yeah.
Well, and again, when the whole education system got took over by the Rothschilds, whole fill in the just to make factory workers, to make meal packs.
Yeah, that was way before. That was
way before. But I'm just saying, like, that was way before the federal government, like before the Department of Education. But I'm saying the way that we learn, the way that you're in a classroom for 8 hours, the way that you in a class and you learn this and you sit down and you learn by somebody is talking to you. Like, you don't learn through action. You don't learn through, like boys in general, right? Boys don't learn like that.
It's the craziest thing. It's been, 15 years ago now, they started closing down all the shop classes.
Yeah, that's stupid. The only thing that actually is productive to where boys learn how boys are supposed to learn through activity, through doing, through being active, through doing things. Yeah, they're right. They're closing it down. Anything that you can do with your hands, because they said you got to learn how to code and sit down. And now AI took that over. And you know what AI isn't doing? AI can't weld, can they?
Can't weld. Can't do plumbing. Can't wire your house.
AI can't build a house yet, I guess. But seriously, no, they can't. And I know, people can say I'm going off the deep end. That's fine. That's fine. But at the end of the day, all I'm saying is stop expecting something out of a bad system. Like, stop expecting something good out of a bad system. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, stop expecting good out of a bad system. It's stupid.
It's garbage in, garbage out.
It's just dumb, I think, to expect that.
Yeah.
But that's why I chose and realized that a faith-based school was going to be the best option for my children, because they're not doing things off of the status quo of the things I don't agree with first. Instead, they're doing things off of what they think the Bible should do first. Right? And I have some differences with, with Catholic teachings to this, to that, whatever. But they're doing things out of, I feel like, the intentions of God first, instead of
questioning things in the Catholic religion, because I'm a convert. Questioning things in that is absolutely healthy. It's necessary, and it's important. And you can do that. Mm-hmm. But you can't. What's not allowed is questioning why we're having heritage school.
Yeah, sure.
Why parents can't sit in and see what's going on in their classroom. I mean, that's...
Why is the curriculum going like this?
Yeah. I mean, and parents should be able to ask that question. They're paying for it.
Why is a boy in the girls' locker room?
It's the same... Most of the things that you described are the exact same reason why Cheryl, my wife of 41 years, taught in Catholic schools for 33 years.
Hold on. When was y'all anniversary?
August 4th, 8484.
41 years.
Yeah.
41 years. But y'all better clap. Y'all better clap.
It's a long time. Nobody had the overs on our 40th. I turned 60 that year. We had our 40th wedding anniversary, all in the same 12-month period.
And you got her a wonderful ring.
Pretty wild. Nobody had the overs on that. I don't know if they didn't have the overs on me living that long or exactly what it was, but nobody had an overs bet. Vegas called and said, that's an open line.
Hey, look, no joke, though. I want to say something, because last year, right, you celebrated that a little early.
We did.
Right, in June. Was that early June?
Yeah, because of kids in school, and then we had something small.
Early June, they celebrated early in Maine. You took everybody to Maine.
Kittery Point, Maine.
Kittery Point. Kittery or Kittry? How you say that?
Kittery Point,
Kittry.
Maine.
Kittery Point, Maine. And bought or rented a really dope, huge estate, like literally on the bay, right?
Yep.
Like it's the ocean, but it's like the bay, like where the river meets the ocean.
What did they call that? The Bay of Maine.
Bay of Maine.
Bay of Maine. That's where we caught. That's where we went out later than and caught fish. But
Kicking
we went
on
out there
the
to
Bay
see
of Maine.
the
whales.
the whales and
up
the
there.
dolphins. Kids.
Bro, we got to see some. Were those humpback whales?
Yeah.
Wow. That was like, the Pacific
3 of them.
North, the Pacific Life commercials where they come and they do the whole thing. Yeah, I saw that. It was dope. But anyways, that was right across the street was it New Hampshire right across the street?
Well, one side was New Hampshire.
Okay.
No. Yeah, New Hampshire. The 13-mile coast of New Hampshire.
Right. Yeah. So
we crossed the river.
Yeah. So you're looking across and you can see New Hampshire and you drive across on a little bridge and you chilling. Anyway, it was super dope and you got a super dope ring. It was a dope thing, man. It was
pretty awesome.
Dope thing,
it was
that was dope. And the whole family was there kicking it.
Yep.
It was
missed Zach's family, but everybody else was there. It was really fun. It was just
everybody had their own room, like their own bathrooms and the
bathroom.
suites of the rooms and all that. Like, it was
first class. Cheryl did a great job finding a place.
Yeah, okay. Well, Cheryl found the place, but you know how to do it.
Cheryl found the place and
crazy is this. My daughter, way back in the day, you asked her where that we should go, right?
Probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
Even longer than that, maybe I felt like it was.
Maybe it was even 8 years ago.
A long time.
We planned it, so yeah, it was probably 7, 8 years ago.
Did you plan it when we were at
and you were staying at our
Branson?
house? No, I think.
Oh no, it was that.
I think it was when you guys were staying with us. But
okay.
Yeah, I think it hadn't been that long ago. 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And I said, "Where do you want to go? Any place in the United States? Where do you want to go for anniversary?" And she said, "Maine."
Maine.
And then when I asked her about it, like after we book it, she's like, "Why did you want to go to Maine so bad?" She's like, "I don't know. I just never been there."
And we went to Maine.
But it was pretty cool.
We went to Maine, which is pretty. It was
Got
really
to see
cool.
a lot of cool history, lighthouses.
Yeah, no, but it was dope. When my wife and I, we went and got some coffee at a place, and there was a little graveyard and things. And I don't know, man, you couldn't confirm it, but it looked like maybe some of your relatives was over there, man.
Yeah, I know. There were some bells on there.
Something was happening,
but it was pretty cool.
Maybe it was a past life. She was trying to go back. She might have been seen Maine before.
Yeah, maybe it was. But it was.
If y'all ever seen Cloud Atlas. Check it out if you ain't seen it. It's a good Tom Hanks, Halle Berry movie. But anyways, yeah, no, that was dope. But you know how to do it. And then he came back for the real thing and had something right at
had something
Hillcrest.
Small at Hillcrest, yeah.
Oh, that wasn't small, man. He had a lot of people there. There's a lot of friends and family. You're loved by a lot of people. A lot of people showed up to that. It was a great day.
And we renewed our vows.
Yes.
By a really good friend that's a priest that I've known since we were both about 8, 9 years old, 7, 8 years old.
That was dope.
It was pretty fun.
That's dope. We got some good pictures out of that.
Oh yeah.
Some real
great
good
family pictures out of that.
Good stuff. The sun was a little high right then.
Yeah.
But whatever.
But it was pretty cool.
It was. I know we're talking about that. But no, for 41 years, that's an accomplishment. That's huge. That doesn't happen often.
I know we got to kind of wrap things up because there's a lot going on in life today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But,
we got started late.
Folks, I love doing this. I mean, you can give me bad comments and hate on me for some of my opinions. That's okay. It doesn't bother me. I'm not that superficial. I know I don't have all the answers, and I don't attest to have all the answers. The only thing I do have is true beliefs that 99% of them come from here. And that I love people. I care about people. I care about the law. I care about taxes. I care about how our government spends our money. But more than anything, I love my family, and I want the best for them in everything. So I don't think that makes me unique. I'm definitely not a unicorn of that because I think everybody wants that. I hope they do. Everybody that has a family.
Pops, man, let me cut in a little bit. I think if there's one of your biggest faults, I think it's that you think people are as genuine as you are.
I know.
I'm gonna keep it real, man, because not everybody is nice like you. And what I mean by that, y'all might be like, just because you disagree with his views, maybe you don't understand the man that Pops is, right? Right. What I mean by that is like one of the most seriously genuine, nice, loving people in the world. And I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you throw all the bullshit aside. What I mean by that is like me, I might have a thought about something and I let that interfere with the life or maybe how I treat people. You don't.
Well,
so what I mean by that is, even if you don't agree with illegal immigration, right, as you say, right, you'll call somebody an illegal immigrant a lot. That may be a hot button for people, right? That being said, you won't hesitate to help anyone out. And you're not going to ask if they're here legally or not, but you're just going to help them. What I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of people, like, you think and you act differently, genuinely, more than most people do. That's what I'm trying to say, man. Like, most people aren't that. Like, most people, I'm to keep it real, man. Like most people are not that genuine, that good, that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would never fuck somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you just wouldn't do it. Like, and I just couldn't say it in a better way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wouldn't try to get over on somebody. And that's what I mean by saying, like, F somebody. Like, you wouldn't try to get over on somebody seriously, or if you had a chance to, you just wouldn't do it. But what I'm trying to say is most people do.
Yeah, I know. But
that's what I'm saying.
And I guess that's a 60-year-old, 61-year-old version of me. When I used to be a lot more emotional about things.
But all I'm saying is people aren't as good and kind-hearted as you really are.
No, I mean, I try
and I think that's one of the problems. Not problems. I think that's one of the things where I've tried to stress to you. It's like, most people don't think as good as you, man. Like, most people aren't on that frequency, which is a great frequency to be. I'm not saying change, because that's that's a good thing. That's a godly thing. It really is.
That's probably helped me, because folks, I try to go to church every day, and I do that because I need it, and I need to hear from him. I need to have the quiet time with him. And the one thing I ask him every day is try to make me a better man today than what I was yesterday. Mm-hmm. I know I can never be a perfect man. I know I will never be a perfect man. That dude died for us on the cross. But treating people the way you expect to be treated is pretty important. Mm-hmm. Loving thy brother, loving thy neighbor. And I do that until they give me a reason to not.
But even when they give you a reason to not, you still do, man.
Well, I'm not an asshole.
I'm just saying.
I'm not an asshole to him. I try to not be an asshole to him.
I know. Like, see, that's where my youngness comes in. Because I'll be like, man, stop being nice to them. But you're like, I'm going to be nice. I'm still going to be good. I'm still going to be. But that's what makes you good. That's what makes you good, man.
The only time I get really angry or upset or can be just a complete asshole, somebody screwing with my family.
I still ain't seen it, though.
No. That's I said,
I'm just saying. I just ain't seen it. I just ain't seen it, though.
Been jacked around by somebody, you and Megan, and I haven't been there. I mean, I really wish I could be there for.
No, I don't.
I'd probably be the one to end up getting.
I don't because I don't see out of character, man. Because like I said, I still ain't never seen you treat anybody wrong, and that's good. That's a godly thing. Don't I'm not saying change that. I'm just saying that's just not most people, man. But it's beautiful. It should be most people.
Should be.
It'd be great if the world was more like that.
If you can every day wake up and just try to be a little bit better man, a little bit better person, whatever that is, however that is, it's all about baby steps. We're not on this planet all that long, to keep that real.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not here all that long.
Yeah.
But if we can leave a lasting impression on people while we're here, and I can tell you, somebody will probably come to my funeral and say a whole bunch of nice things, but I can tell you this. Everybody that's got nice things, all of us are toad at heart. We've all got some warts someplace. Things we've done that we're not proud of.
Sure.
And but you just got to try every day. Every day is a new opportunity to help somebody.
Bang, bang.
And that's, that's when I say help somebody, that doesn't just mean financial help. Because you can help them with time and talent. Treasure's kind of the last thing. But time and talent, you can't ever have anybody take that away from you, and nobody ever can take your talent away. So if you can help people with your time and talent, that is golden.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
That's why I kind of like being my kid's handyman when I can.
Yeah. Look, we're going to leave you on that. We're going to leave you on that. Time and talent, y'all. Time and talent. TT. Get it in. We love y'all. This is Middle of the Street, y'all. The best podcast in the land because we not on that bull junk. We just keep it real. It's authentic and it's real.
And we try to make it beautiful because, Ishma and I...
no agendas.
No agendas. We have grown so much as people in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
And that's a beautiful thing. I hope you all can do the same thing.
Bang, bang.
Love you all. Peace out.
Bang, bang, ding, 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 ding.
No agenda, no bull crap, just real conversations. Thank you for joining us for the Middle of the Street podcast.